Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original series Sex Education. This is how I structure my reviews. In case you don't know, I give a short synopsis, then I talk about what I liked, and then I talk about what about I did not like, and then I add in a fun fact or tidbit at the end before I give my rating. Let's jump into the review. Okay, so Sex Education? Oh my gosh. Sex Education is about a socially awkward high school student named Otis Milburn. Oh my gosh, I'm so tongue-tied today. Otis lives with his mother, played by Gillian Anderson, who is a sex therapist. Otis' home is filled with manuals of sex, videos on sex, ornament, penises, and his mother will often lead him into conversations about sex, whether he wants to talk about it or not. She's always trying to analyze it.
I've noticed you're pretending to masturbate.
So as you can imagine, some of the sex analysis that he is subjected to constantly in his home and just his general life is kind of seeped into his brain, Otis's brain, and as such he has become a reluctant expert on sex, kind of. When Otis's home life is revealed at school, Otis has realized that he can use his knowledge to help his fellow students, make some money and gain popular status. At least that's the initial plan. He teams up with Maeve, the bad girl of the school, and together they set up an underground sex therapy clinic to deal with their fellow students' strange and often hilarious issues. So what I like. Sex Education is divided up into a very familiar and very often formulaic set of character-driven moments. There is the familiar arc of the main characters, the trio that you normally get in this type of series. Otis has a best friend, Eric, who is gay, and when Maeve enters onto the scene, this is the third part of the kind of the three, Eric feels threatened by his new dynamic. Otis forms feelings for Maeve, Maeve forms feelings for someone else, and so the rule of three spirals out from these three main characters.
Wow, sex therapist.
Sex Education has just 8 episodes and each episode is an hour long. The story and plot move along quickly, and every episode has Otis trying to help a student with his or her sexual problems. But where this series gets really interesting and where I feel it shines really is through its analysis of teenage sexuality. Otis realizes he may need some therapy of his own as he dishes out his advice to his students.
My pubes are out of control.
When I first started watching this series, I thought it could easily just be an excuse for a raunchy series for young teens. We have had quite a few of those in the past with not a lot of depth in them. But I have to say, I was really surprised. Sex Education is not afraid to go to the deep place. In fact, the topics that are covered are done in a way that doesn't really glorify them, but rather shines a light on some of the issues that young people can face with sex, especially some of the issues that are centered around the character of Otis. I thought it was very interesting the way they showed the pressure of sex and all the baggage that it can come with. What Otis's character goes through is often harrowing, it's funny, it's deep, and you do feel for the character. You can genuinely get involved in liking his character and getting involved in the journey that he's going through because of how he has to analyze it. In a way, you kind of are analyzing him and others that are around it. I thought it was quite a clever mechanic to do this. And the actor who plays Otis, Asher Butterfield, I thought was excellent at showing just how messed up a person can get when your headspace is messed up. As the protagonist for the show, I thought he was great, especially in certain situations with other main characters. The three on screen together are often really entertaining to watch. I was kind of mesmerized at some of the dialogue that they had going with each other. It was fast, quick and witty, but kind of genuine as well. You felt for what they were going through at the same time. What I did not like. For me, it felt like I could predict almost every main story plot. I could pinpoint when it was going to happen, how it was going to happen, and who would do it. I think this comes down to the very familiar formula that is used that I mentioned earlier. You know, the one about the boy who likes the girl who doesn't like him, the girl who likes the boy who seems to not know that B girl likes him, and so on and so forth. It felt very predictable, but that's about it on what I didn't like, and even that is very nitpicky. Point of warning, the series is called Sex Education, so if you're easily offended by sex on screen or situations to do with sex, then I'd say probably avoid this one. It's probably not a series that you want to watch with your series. You might be laughing or nervously hiding behind your hands if you do, because there are some moments that Even for me, I was a bit squeamish in, but maybe that's just me. But seriously, I thought this was a series that was acted well, the scripting was witty and funny, the plot, although predictable at times, has a lot of heart to it, and as I said before, it's not afraid to tackle some very tough themes. Once I got past all the sex scenes and the meat of the series theme was revealed, I thought this series had a lot to say. It's also on occasion very funny, like belly laughing funny. I think that's mostly to do with the situations you find them in and you can't believe that it's happening. Now for the did you know? If you feel like you've seen the lead before and you can't quite place him, don't worry, I've got you covered. Asher Butterfield, who plays Otis, the main protagonist, has actually had quite a diverse film and television career. You may remember him from The Boy with the Striped Pajamas. He's been in Hugo, Ender's Game, Journey's End, recently Slaughterhouse Rules, to name but a few. One of his most known roles is for the movie The Space Between Us, which I thought was alright. So, because of its minor irritations, I'm going to give Sex Education a B. Thanks for watching my review. Be sure to check out my upcoming review of Carmen Sandiego and Russian Doll, and the second series of Punisher. These are 3 Netflix originals soon to be released. If you liked my review, consider subscribing and chatting to me in the comments below. And until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.